Raider Nation, tough game. Rams ended up winning it. But if you guys love craft beer, well, I got something special for you. If you're drunk in love on the Raiders, I'm drunk in love on craft beer. I want you to head to Tavour.com right now. You're going to use that promo code CHATSPORTS for $10 off your very first purchase. All right, we're going to get into some high-quality Raiders news. In the first one, it's Jon Gruden, and, well, he's blaming himself on the loss. So Gruden was happy with how the Raiders moved the ball at times against the Rams, but said his overall lack of execution, he believes, fell on him. He called all the plays, and what I really liked is he let his coordinators really come up with a lot of the other plays, too, on defense, because Jon is the guy who wants to manage the offense. So the Raiders had 20 first downs. They did great moving the ball. They had more yards than the Rams. They won the time of possession, but ultimately those 3 turnovers really, really hurt the Raiders. So I want to know from you guys, are you happy with Jon Gruden and his coaching performance? Type Y for yes or type N for no. The Raiders, they held the ball, I believe, 31 minutes in that game compared to the Rams 28. But the 3 turnovers was a major, major aspect. But I did love seeing Jon Gruden's energy. A lot of offensive penalties, though. But overall, are you happy with Jon Gruden's coaching performance? Type Y for yes or N for no. Okay, the next news bit I got for you guys coming up here on the board, and it's a little bit sad. It's from Andrew DePaola. He's got a torn ACL. It's our long snapper. And I don't know if you guys saw Lee Smith long snapping. I mean, they definitely were talking about it plenty last night. So he's 31 years old. He signed as a free agent this offseason, and he's owed $875,000 this season. It's still a little bit of a chunk of change, but best of luck to this guy who's 31, and hopefully he can recover from that ACL. Maybe they go back to a guy like Kondo, who they ended up cutting. Raider Nation, what's going on? Today's Raiders Report is brought to you by Tavour.com. And if you guys want $10 off because you like beer, use that promo code ChatSports. And if you like the show in general, please subscribe to the Oakland Raiders Report on YouTube. I would definitely appreciate that. Okay, now I'm going to head back into some more news here before we get into it because, well, I'll be honest, I'm drunk in love on it, and this one is pretty funny. So, I don't know if y'all saw this, but Marshawn Lynch got absolutely roasted on Twitter for this high school picture of him, and, well, can you really blame him? He's kind of nerdy there. He looks like a little bit of a Steve Urkel, but I will say this. I don't think it's fair just to sit here and just roast Marshawn Lynch because even though he does look a little bit dorky there, so I want you guys to roast me. So this is a picture of me from my high school days at a pep rally, and yeah, our school colors are orange and purple. I'm nerdy. I like to dress up. I like to have fun. And sure, judging by that giant D on my shirt, it kind of looks like I took the D, I'll be honest. But I was a guy who had fun in high school, and I wanted to know from you guys what you guys think of my get-up there in high school. Guys, if you guys are new to the show, guess what? I got some Raiders rumors, and you need to understand my Raider rumor scale. So 0 Chucky heads, tuck rule, tuck that. This rumor is not going to happen. 1 Chucky head is a small shred of truth, 25% chance of happening. 2 Chucky heads, 50-50. People are talking. 3 Chucky heads is pretty likely. I like to think 75% chance that this one's going to happen. And then 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby. This rumor is 100% going to happen. Kicking it off here, our first rumor coming up on the board, Khalil Mack. He wanted to be traded. Well, this one's interesting. I'm going to give it 3 Chucky heads, pretty likely. And he was under contract, and, well, he just never showed up. That's the exact quote that Jon Gruden said. He held out the entire preseason, and he was seeking a new contract, and, well, I don't know if he was ever going to come back. And when you look at Mack, he signed the 6-year deal, $141 with the Chicago Bears. So, ultimately, I don't think the Raiders would have had that kind of chunk of change to been able to offer to a guy like Mack. So, when you look at it, Jon Gruden came out and said that he doesn't really think that Mack wanted to be a Raider, and, well, maybe we're better off without him. We'll see going forward. The next rumor I got for you guys coming up here on the board, it's Jon Gruden, and, well, he's not happy with Arden Key. And, well, I'm going to give this one 4 Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. And it's because the guy even came out and straight up said, like, wasn't really happy with the way that he played. He was hoping for a little bit more pass rush from a guy like Key, who only 3 tackles. They gave up on a guy like Khalil Mack, who obviously 36.5 sacks over the last 3 years. They didn't get a lot of pressure on the Rams, and, well, Gruden was expecting a little bit more from his guy, Arden Key, coming out of LSU. A guy with a lot of hype, and, well, he struggled a little bit getting to it. Let's give the Rams, I guess, a little bit credit. They do have a pretty solid offensive line. So, okay, the next rumor I got for you guys coming up here on the board, AMARI'S quiet day was on purpose. Interesting, right? I'm going to give this one 2 Chucky heads. People are talking. Now, the guy who's talking is Gruden. The reason when he came out and said he is the blame for Cooper's quiet night, but it's also because it was the game prep. So they thought that they could execute well against the the Rams linebackers, because that's where they struggle on defense. So that's why you saw a guy like Jared Cook have a big game. And, well, that's why a guy like Amari Cooper, who only got 3 targets, had 1 catch for 9 yards. So ultimately, they didn't want to go at the Rams' physical corners because Amari struggled with physical corners in the past. So Gruden took the blame for Cooper's quiet night, and I guess it was on purpose because that's where they felt like the matchup was better off for them. Okay, the next one I got for you guys coming up here on the board, it's Raiders are Week 2 underdogs. Are they? Well, this is one pretty interesting to me. I'm going to give this one, though, 4 Chucky heads because, believe it, baby, they are 100% underdogs. And according to BetDSI, the Broncos are 6-point favorites over the Raiders this week. Now, Oakland did lose to the Denver Broncos last year, 16-10. So maybe BetDSI knows what they're doing. I think they do. They're a pretty awesome company. Shout out to BetDSI. But Broncos this year are 1-0 after a 27-24 win over Seattle. But I think one of the big things, the big storylines that I'm going to look at in this game is Derek Carr versus the Broncos. So Derek Carr, he hasn't played too well against the Broncos. It's because that defense is pretty vaunt, right? So, like, they're a very, very stout defense. So 3-4 record against the Broncos, but only 1,300 yards in 7 games. 9 touchdowns. Not what you want. And then even like a guy like Amari Cooper against the Broncos. I mean, he's another guy who I really think needs to be able to step up in this game. 17 catches, 160 yards, and 2 touchdowns in only 6 games against the Broncos. We need Amari to step up and Derek for sure. But, guys, I want to know from you because this show isn't just about me. Predict the Raiders versus Broncos Week 2 score. So I give... I'm hoping the Raiders can pull this one out. I did predict the Raiders to win this game earlier in the season, so I'm going to stick with that. I think it's going to be 24-21 Raiders, but I want to know from you guys. Predict the Raiders versus Broncos Week 2 score, please, in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Raiders Report, and if you guys like what I'm wearing, shout out to Mizzen+Main because these guys, I'm telling you right now, they have the most comfortable dress shirts you will ever wear. Bet on it, no doubt about it. Head to www.comfortable.af right now to get your shirt right now because, guys, I'm telling you, the best damn dress shirt you will ever wear. Okay, I'm going to get into some more rumors here, and the next one coming up here, it's Jared Cook, and is he going to dominate the Denver Broncos this week? I'm going to give this one 3 Chucky heads, and I'm going to say this one's pretty likely, and guess who the source is? It's me. Now, I love playing on FanDuel. I love playing fantasy football. I think you guys know that. And when you look at this matchup, this looks like another really solid matchup for a guy like Jared Cook. So he's probably the favorite target. I think it's safe to say that right now for a guy like Derek Carr. And, I mean, 12 targets last week, 9 catches, 180 yards. And Jared Cook did lead the team in receiving yards last year with 688. So Jared Cook is a guy who's looked really good. But Denver ranks 31st against tight ends in 2018. Now, I get it. It's one game, right? But last year, even Denver struggled against tight ends. And I think if you guys play on FanDuel, if you guys like fantasy football, you have a guy like Jared Cook, watch out for Jared Cook for being a huge staple in the Raiders win this week. The next rumor I got coming up here, Dez Bryant to the Raiders. Now, I heard this one yesterday, and I heard it from some people here at Chat Sports and some sources here around Chat Sports. And I'm going to give this one 2 Chucky heads. People are talking. Now, I don't know if Dez is going to be coming to the Raiders now, but apparently, according to a source, Dez visited the Raiders this offseason. Now, he did it before he visited the Browns. And even though he is still currently a free agent and we got rid of Martavis Bryant, I thought Seth Roberts played okay against the tough cornerbacks for the Rams. So, in terms of is he going to be coming to the Raiders? I mean, maybe. I don't really know. Ultimately, like, it's a 50-50 shot for me there. But guys, I want to know from you, okay? So please get your votes in here. Would you want the Raiders to sign Dez Bryant? If you guys think that, hell yeah, we should sign Dez Bryant, give me a yes, give me that heart. Or if you say no, give me a thumbs up. For me, I don't think they are going to ultimately sign him. I don't think the money's going to come out to it. But it is interesting that Dez did visit the Raiders. And, well, we didn't really hear too much about it this off season. Guys, I want you to sign up, or I guess subscribe to the Oakland Raiders Report here because guess what? That's what I do. And if you guys like what I do here, I would definitely appreciate that. So Raiders Report on Chat Sports. Please subscribe to that. And Mitchell Renz, if you like me, I guess, follow me on Twitter at MitchellRenz364.